before we get started, I do have a few safety rules. Please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times and hold on to your loose items. If an item should fall from the truck, I will not be able to stop and retrieve it, so make sure to keep a good grip on those. And we do ask that you please stay fully seated at all times, no standing. Little ones are more than welcome to sit on your lap or on the seat next to you, but please do not pass them back and forth, and absolutely do not hold them up in the air. That's not very safe. I know little ones want to see, but the lap will be good enough. It's going to get really bumpy out there. I don't want you to lose any items, and I don't want any of us to get hurt. Now that we've gone over all of that, if you'll look above your head, you'll see that animal spotting guide that'll help you to identify some of the animals that we may see out there today. Now, we might not see all of them due to migration patterns as well as changes in the weather, but we usually have some pretty good luck. We are just waiting for that go-ahead from the warden, and there it is. Now we're going to head into our first destination, the Little Aturi Forest. Many of the animals who live here are very shy, and they'll hide behind the brush and the trees. So just keep a lookout. Now on the left, out in the open, we do see those copper-colored animals. Those are bongos. Ooh, wait a minute. On the right, there are some animals with zebra pants on. Those are going to be the okapi. They're actually friends. While the stripes on the okapi's legs make them look like they're related to the zebra, they're actually the only known living relative of the giraffe. They have the same type of bone structure, and if you were to compare both of their skulls, they would look very similar. As for the bongos, they're pretty well hidden because they are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest, since they are very shy and reclusive. Now actually, a lot of the antelope in this area do have stripes on their bodies, and the stripes help to mimic the appearance of sunlight and break up their patterns when they're hiding behind bushes and trees. It helps to keep them less easily spotted by predators. Now these ones are a prime example right up here to the right, to the light brown antelope. That's going to be the greater kudu. They're the tallest antelope in the forest, standing at about 55 inches at the shoulder. Well, coming up on the left side, I do see a couple of black and white birds. Those are called saddle-billed stork. They are named for that saddle shape on their bills. They actually stand at about 5 feet in height, and you'll oftentimes find two together because they are known to mate for life. Well, this time it does appear that we probably have found everything that the Little Aturi Forest has to offer. So now we're going to head into the Safi River region. There is a lot of water over there, and usually where there's a lot of water, there are a lot of animals. If you look over to the right, you'll start to see those white birds called the pink-backed pelican. They get their name from the color their backs turn during mating season. They are known to be colonial nesters, and they'll stay together in groups of anywhere from 50 to 500. Now keep looking at the water because I know that there are some animals that live just underneath the surface. Oh, speaking of which, it just went down. There is a Nile hippopotamus back down there. Let's see if we can get a better view. I know it looks like a rock, but it is moving about.
Look, you see him there?
Yeah.
You see his little ears?
Usually pretty hard to spot because hippos can hold their breath for several minutes at a time underwater. Even when they are fully asleep, their head will instinctively come up for that breath of fresh air, and then it will go back down. It's kind of like how we unconsciously continue to breathe while we're sleeping. Well, that one was alone, but I do know that the group of hippos, or bloat, can be found around this area. Well, they may have migrated, because I'm not seeing much more further at the bottom of the water. But that's okay, because on the left I do see a Nile crocodile. Those guys will reach up to 16 feet in length, fully grown. They do have razor-sharp jaws that they can use to snatch their prey right off the shore, but they can be very gentle with them as well. They're known to be very good parents because they will oftentimes roll their eggs around in their mouth to encourage them to hatch. Now, the reason why that one has its mouth open is because the Nile crocodiles are cold-blooded. Now, the way they can generate body heat is, of course, by basking in the sun. And the best way to better help them absorb that heat is actually by opening their mouths. Well, now we are well on our way to the Serengeti grasslands. There are a lot of free-roaming animals out there, and we should see them from either side of the vehicle. Do make sure to keep your cameras out and ready because, of course, we are moving, and those animals will be as well. Before we head in, over on the right, you'll see that large tree called the baobab tree. Baobab trees are nicknamed the tree of life because they can store gallons of water inside of their trunk. You may notice that the top does resemble roots, and that's why it's also sometimes referred to as the upside-down tree. Now we are officially in the grasslands, and I will tell you guys that this type of environment is a perfectly balanced ecosystem. Taller animals will trim the undersides of trees, smaller animals will mow the grass, and the larger ones, such as the elephant, will bulldoze any old trees to make room for new ones. It all works together in perfect harmony. Now I know you guys aren't missing the tallest land animal in the world right over here on the right. Those, of course, are giraffe. You may not know this, though. There are actually many different types of giraffe in Africa, and these are just one of them. These are called the Maasai, and we know that because of the jagged edges on their spots. They're going to be different from other types, such as the reticulated, who have more of a net-like pattern to their coat. We are going to rather have a chance to get a little bit closer to them, but on our way over there, I do believe we're spotting a den right up ahead. So I'm hoping there are some predators at home this afternoon. Well, if you guys start to look to the right of that den, I do believe I'm seeing some painted dogs named for that unique marking on their coat. They're laying down. They appear very cute and cuddly, but they are actually the most successful pack hunter in Africa, and that's because they're known for running after their prey until it drops from exhaustion. But the guys, actually those aren't hyenas, they're painted dogs. They're actually not even part of the same subspecies. Hyena is part of the subspecies Hyenidae, but painted dogs are part of the canine family. On the left side, you'll see the animals with the curved horns. Those are sable antelope. They are the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And of course, you're not missing these giraffe over here. They'll be anywhere from 17 to 20 feet in height, fully grown. A lot of that height does come from their neck, which is about 9 feet in length. You would think that they have a lot of more bones in their neck than we do, but they actually have the same amount of vertebrae as the human, which is 7, except for the fact that their bones are a lot larger than ours. Now, most of the time when you do spot a giraffe, they will be eating. They actually eat about 22 hours out of the day. Now, in contrast, they only need quick power naps, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. It all adds up to be about a half hour. As for the bulky antelope around them, though, those ones are going to be called the eland. They're capable of jumping up to 8 feet in the air from a standstill. Happen to see some striped animals out in the distance over there. Looks like there are some zebras, Hartman's mountain zebras to be exact. We know that because of how spaced out the stripes on their rump are. And we're probably going to get a good look at those as we get a little bit closer. There are also some more creatures over there too.
You love it, Chase? Huh?
Well, over on the right, up on the hill, there are some gray animals. Those are called wildebeest. They travel together in herds with millions migrating a year. Along with them, the little brown, black, and white antelope are called springbuck. They may be small, but just because they're tiny doesn't mean they're not mighty. They're known for springing up to 6 feet in the air and 13 feet forward. Now I'm going to move forward and see if we can get a better look at the zebras that were just up there. I will say we have had some pretty good luck out here so far, and I'm hoping to keep that streak of luck going as we head into Monkey Country, which is also on the border of Elephant Point. Over by the baobab tree, you'll see the zebras once again. Once again, those are Hartman's Mountain zebras. They are very special because they're the only type of zebra to have an extra flap of skin right underneath their neck called a dewlap. When it gets really hot outside, the blood will rush to their dewlap and help to cool off their body temperature.
Look at her. She's so pretty.
It's a little bit quiet over here. Oh, but on the right, I do see the African elephant out there. Now, of course, we don't just know they're African because we're in Africa, but if you look at their ears, they're very large and shaped similarly to the continent of Africa. If you're looking on the left, there is a mandrill walking in between the bushes. You can kind of spot his brilliant red and blue markings on his face and bottom, but just as quickly as he came up, he went back down. I will tell you, though, that if you're wondering what he looked like, that's the monkey that Rafiki from The Lion King was modeled after. And here they are closer. Now we are still just on the border of Elephant Point, so we're also going to head all the way in and see what else is out there. I'm always pretty excited to see some because unfortunately the elephant is becoming increasingly harder to find. And that's because they're poached for their ivory. Ivory is found in their tusks and will oftentimes be used to make either jewelry or figurines. So one way we can help out, even though it doesn't seem like a lot, is if you ever see anything made out of ivory, we just urge you not to buy it. Because if we do lessen demand for that product, we may have a chance of helping those elephants out in even the smallest of ways. Now, Disney actually established a project called the Elephants and Bees Project. We found out that those large creatures were becoming harmed in Africa because they were getting into the crops of farmers. Now, of course, they were just looking for a food source, but the farmers need to make a living as well. Through research, we actually found out that the elephant is afraid of bees and don't like that buzzing sound. So we learned we can establish beehives around crops and it helps keep those large creatures away and safe. It's also a win-win for farmers because they get the honey from those bees. That just goes to show you that you can get creative with your conservation and help all parties involved, both the animals as well as the humans. Well, speaking of animals, I do believe I am seeing a herd out here. I'm going to guess that this is a female herd. The elephant lives in a very matriarchal society, and it's very female-dominated. There'll be a head matriarch, and she'll keep track of all the others to make sure that they stay together because they know that there is safety in numbers. Now, in contrast, the male elephant leaves the herd at a very young age and they go off and live more of a solitary lifestyle. Occasionally, they will get together in male groups, and those will be called bachelor herds. But if you ever just see one elephant alone, most likely that is just a bachelor elephant. Well, for those of you who didn't get a good look at the Hartman's Mountain zebras, it looks like they caught up to us right over here. Now let's make sure they're not trying to get some treats over here. Oh, they're a little bit too close for comfort. Yep. We're gonna hang tight for a second. Now guys, I know we're stopped, but make sure to stay fully seated, guys. Fully seated. We are gonna head on out. You may have noticed the animals with the large horns. Those are Ankole cattle, also nicknamed Watusi cattle because they were domesticated by the Watusi tribe in Africa. Guys, well, on the left you'll notice some greater flamingos. They get their pink coloring from all the brine shrimp that they eat in their diet, which is high in beta-carotene. Now they are relatively light in color, but that is because they are the lightest of the flamingo species, since they also happen to be the largest, so it gives the coloring from their diet a little bit more room to disperse. Now that has to be my favorite view of the entire reserve. You can see the flamingos, the baobab tree, and of course the elephants out there.
Oh, Chase, look at the little elephant right there.
Well, now it is about time we head into a different area of the savannah. You will see that there's quite a bit of vegetation over here, so just keep a lookout. You never know what's going to pop up out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, speaking of which, there is a crash right up on the right, which is what a group of rhinos is called. Now that's an African white rhino. Now if you're wondering, why isn't it stopping? Well, they can actually only see about 10 feet in front of them. So the little ears are twitching from side to side because they have an amazing sense of hearing to make up for it. So now it knows we're here, but I'm just letting her head across because this is her home. Now, while the white rhino is anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds fully grown, they are actually very docile and friendly, which is why they're found in their groups. So I'll let that one get back to its friend just over there.